Eden Hazard has been talking about potentially a move to Real Madrid. He said it won't happen in January, but when he was asked, do you need to move to Spain to win the Ballon d'Or, he did joke that maybe that was one of the reasons that he might like to go. It's a very light-hearted comment, but would it help his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or?
I mean, we talked about this off air, Liam and I, and we were saying, like, to win the Ballon d'Or, you have to be not only the best player on the planet and have shown it throughout the course of the season, but it always goes to a player that's also been in the most successful team. You know, whereas Ronaldo winning it with Real Madrid because they've won the Champions League, as well as him playing exceptionally well. So I think for Eden Hazard to win it, if he's at Chelsea, Chelsea have to have an amazing season. And also on top of that, which would mean then Eden Hazard has a phenomenal season. So, you know, you could argue and say, well, is it more likely going to happen at Real Madrid or is it going to happen at, Chelsea in this instance? And I'm not so sure that he won't leave in January.
Really?
And I'm not saying him, I'm just saying that...
No, you did say him.
No, but I mean from his perspective. I'm not saying from his perspective. Yeah. I mean, he's got, just under 2 years left on his contract. Real Madrid are having a shocker at the moment. If they come in January and offer a lot of money for him, and the club are adamant at that stage or realise at that stage that he does want to go and he won't re-sign, what are the club going to do? Because they could, depending on the situation at Chelsea, where they are in the league, I think that could play a lot in it as well. And
then that doesn't come down to his loyalty to Chelsea, which is what he said is stalling his move.
Absolutely, and he's been very honest. I mean, he's never, ever complained. He's always said he's, such love and passion for the club. And I admire him being honest. And some people will be a little bit upset by it, but ultimately, he's talking about Real Madrid. He's not talking about wanting to go to a competitor or a direct rival in the Premier League. He's talking about going to Real Madrid, who has, one of the most successful clubs on the planet.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. You only have one career. My career flew by way too quickly to have regrets. And when
you shouldn't have retired so early. So
yeah, true. I've got an old body. But no, he's an absolutely world-class footballer, and he's taken it to a new level for me this season, his performances. And for Chelsea fans, it's a real shame if he does want to leave. But at the same time, looking at it from his perspective, I completely understand. If he wants to take his game and be seen, I think if you're Eden Hazard right now, you're saying, what's next for me at Chelsea? I've won the Premier League. I've done incredible things at this club. I want to be the next. Messi's getting older, Ronaldo's getting older, I want to be the next one. I want to be seen in that light. And if I'm comparing his performances recently to, say, Neymar, I know who I'm taking in my team every week, and it's Eden Hazard. So I completely understand why he almost wants to go from that level to that level.
And I think what's making his decision or even his thought process more difficult is the fact that Maurizio Sarri's come in and he's just completely changed the way that Chelsea play. And Eden Hazard, clearly, and he's come out publicly and said how much he's loving football, how much he's loving working under Maurizio Sarri. So that's really, for his own purposes in his own head, I think has complicated the moment even more so. And I think, which is a good thing for Chelsea. And, you can completely understand why Chelsea would want to try and keep hold of him at all costs, because he is such a phenomenal player.
In terms of moving to that next level, though, yes, as you said earlier, it's about being a great player in a great team and a successful team. What does he need to do, though? How far short is he of being that next player behind Messi and Ronaldo?
He needs to be consistent. So he's done it for a season, and then he hasn't had such a great season because that's also culminated with the team not performing so well. So he needs to have a number of seasons backing it up, as well as then winning some major trophies, winning whether it's in England, winning the Premier League, winning domestic league, but also winning European competitions. That's really what he has to do. And I think when you look at all the previous winners, they've won their domestic leagues, they've gone on and been either won the European the European Cup, or they've gone very close to doing it and had a phenomenal season.
What do you think in terms of improving?
I think for him right now, it's just consistency. I think the level that he's performing at this moment in time, he's up there with the best in the world, for sure. He's beating players, he's scoring goals, assists, incredible. If he maintains this level, it's almost like what we said about Salah last season. Is he going to maintain it? Is he going to maintain it? Is he going to maintain it? He did over the season. And I think now for Eden, it's now, can he do this over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, like Ronaldo has done, like Messi has done over a ridiculous amount of time. The goals they've scored and the games they've played has been consistent to a level that we've never seen before. And if he wants to get himself to that level, he's going to have to perform.
And he could do it. This guy is talented enough to do it. He has the ability. He has everything. It's more in his head. And I've seen a difference in him since I was at the club.
Yeah.
And I remember asking him at the club when I was there, saying, you know, after one of the games where he was phenomenal, I said to him, you have to do that every week. You can do that every week. And he goes, his response to me was, oh, some weeks I play well, some weeks I don't. And that was just how relaxed he was about it. And you've seen him change.
Yeah.
And you've seen his performances change.
It was interesting, Sarri saying about his application in training, you know, and if he wants to get to that level, you have to be at that highest level in training every single day. And maybe, you know, we evolve as players over time. And as you get older, you realise time's running out. Maybe he's at that period in his career now where he's saying, I want to make things happen. I want to be a Galactico. I want to be seen as a Ballon d'Or winner. I need to do everything right now in order for me to do that.
We've had a tweet in asking when or if will we see a player from the Premier League win the Ballon d'Or in the future. Harry Kane's on the longest shortlist in the world. The Liverpool front three are on the long shortlist and everything. So do you think we're close to having a player from the Premier League win the Ballon d'Or?
I think it's dependent on performance in the Champions League. You touched on it. I think you need to win. You need to win. You need to be in a winning team. And so in order for that to happen in the Premier League, we need to see another Premier League team win the Champions League. I think that's key. In terms of Salah last season, I know he came very, very close. If Liverpool gone on and won that game and he'd been man of the match, that could have tipped the balance his way. So I don't think it's far away, especially with the quality of teams we now have in the Premier League. But it just goes down to, it's dependent on can they go and win, and can that player be that standout in terms of their performance.
Mark, further to a point that we made earlier on about players going abroad to learn their game. It's great English players going abroad, but wouldn't it be a good idea to get more English coaches abroad, bringing back different styles of football, then maybe implementing it all the way through to grassroots? What do you think?
Absolutely. And I think, again, it opens your mind. It opens you to new experiences, a different way of teaching. And, you know, like you said, we've seen it with players now. You know, there have been English managers who have gone abroad, and it hasn't really been that successful. There's the odd bit of success here and there, but not over a longer sustained period of time. And I think a lot of that's going to be down to either they go very early and learn their trade really early and come through, and almost like one of these this generation of players deciding, you know what, my first job is not actually going to be in the Premier League, it's going to be abroad somewhere, whether it's Italy, whether it's Spain, whether it's Germany, wherever.
Graham Potter, unbelievable example.
Yeah.
Went to the 4th division in Sweden, did outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Now he's doing a very, very good with a young Swansea team in the Championship. I think you're going to see that more often now with more young English coaches saying, if I don't get an opportunity here, like Jadon Sancho in a different way, I'm going to go abroad and learn my trade there.
Liam, really quick one for you. How proud are you that Lewis Dunk's finally been given the credit for his performances at Brighton?
Yeah, super proud of him. He's the best centre-half I've ever played with. I'll be very surprised. I'm going to put pressure on Gareth Southgate. I'll be very surprised if he comes out of the England squad. Now they see him up close and they see the actual quality of player that he is every day in training and games.